Oh,
Hey, hey.
GFNF
Yep.
Daily Show.
let's see.
Let's get this. Yeah, it seemed like such a long weekend being away like this. NFT world, it feels like a month.
Yeah, nothing stops just because the weekend or the holiday. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
let's I don't know if we had it on today's schedule, but dude, let's talk about Irene Dao, man. That kind of took the whole space by storm.
One
Yeah,
sec,
maybe-
I gotta change the
on
desktop
there.
here. Properties.
Let's see though. It's still not showing the streams live because of the delay, so maybe we give it a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, showing black screen for me.
Yeah.
There it is.
There we go.
Yep, perfect. Yeah, maybe we start with Irene Dao, Garrett.
Yeah, I think that would be that's a really interesting topic. So
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Irene Dao.
Irene Dao, it's still showing a black screen for me, but if you guys are saying it's good, then I'm sure it's good.
Irene Dao. It's okay.
Cool.
It'll work.
So yeah, Irene Dao, basically for anyone that hasn't seen it, I'm surprised that you haven't seen it yet, but
that isn't
more or less this girl is just pretty attractive, like influencer with a decent sized following. She's like a model, and she dropped a project that's 1,100 pictures of herself with captions like "When Binance, take my money, thank you, sir," just like silly shit like that. And the floor rocketed all the way up to a 5 Ethereum floor. There's been 2,000 Ethereum volume traded on the aftermarket, and she has basically paved the roadmap to a potential coming influx of e-girls dropping projects like this, man. That's what I think's about to happen, which will be very interesting. But yeah, crazy.
So Irene did an interview with some big modern entertainment company, and she says that her goal, there's no roadmap, there's nothing planned, but she said her goal with this is for it to be the future of content creation. That's what she said.
That's crazy.
And you
Yeah.
said
Crazy.
Logan Paul bought some at 5 ETH or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Logan
here he
Paul
is.
off the top, dude.
1, 2, 3, 4.
He's down 50%, yeah.
5, 6. He bought 6 of them. 5, 2, 5.22. 5. Oh my gosh. See it, logs.
I think one of like
We should follow him
the
and counter.
overarching things to like takeaways from this would be the fact that when something new is introduced to the NFT space, like really new, really unique in some sense, people just go crazy, you know, like whether it was the first loot boxes, the first token, like the early token based projects, the early staking based projects, this one being like basically a simp, like a outlet for simps and her followers. This is kind of the first of its kind. And that's really my biggest takeaway, is that whenever something new, it comes along with a little bit of shock value, just sometimes it's best just to ape first and ask questions later, because a lot of that stuff ends up rocketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking back, probably would have been really smart to buy that morning, but what are you gonna do? Say that all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's get on Solana Bots. That's like hot right now, I would say.
Yeah.
Several big ones, and then some that are just popping up, which we're gonna see more
Yeah.
of.
Cyberkeys is. Go ahead, Garrett.
Oh, no. Totally up to you guys if you want to take the floor on that. Just maybe rattling through the different bots that are competing and competitive on the marketplace.
Yeah. I was going to talk about Cyberkeys. Cyberkeys is like, I'd say now it's proven itself to be like top tier minting. It's Garrett just got it. It's like browser based. And the way I understand it is basically all these bots are like making a request somehow to the candy machine, which is like the middleman that basically deploys these smart contracts for Solana drops. And so Cyberkeys is directly interacting with the contract, just like an Ethereum mint bot would be interacting with an Ethereum smart contract and minting as it goes. I don't know much about Galaxity, honestly. I hadn't heard about it till yesterday. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one.
Yeah, that was one some of our collaborators were using. And I saw somebody in NFT chat say it was underrated. So it actually has just gone down though, I think. Yeah, it was 14 yesterday. Not sure why it's gone down, but you never know. Like, they could literally be just creating more of these, the developers, and just listing them.
Yeah.
It does say for Cyberkeys it's maxed out at, I think, 500. Yeah.
500, yeah.
So whether that's true or not, who knows? But probably. But yeah, you don't know for, like, they don't say how many of these are. So these could be developers, or they just are people getting out of it, maybe getting Cyberkeys or something. I don't know. But it's so new.
What do you guys think about investing in a Solana bot for the purposes of flipping the NFT? Smart play, not a smart play?
I think, like, for example, right, Garrett got in on his Cyberkeys. I don't think that was a bad buy, because I think he's going to be able to sell it for what he paid. And I don't think right now it's risky buying into the bot just to flip the NFTs. And we're seeing guys, especially on some of these big sales, for, like, if you wanted to go buy a Cyberkey license right now, a lot of those guys that you're buying from are making, 10, 12 SOL on the flip of the bot itself, because the bot's gone up so much. I really think that I really do think if SOL projects are here to stay, then we're early on these SOL bots, and I think there's no reason these SOL bots aren't selling for, like, closer to 40 or 50 SOL.
I think it's an awful idea, because there's going to be so many more bots popping up, and whether they're good or bad, you're still going to have more supply of bots. The guys that were flipping them for like 10 SOL profit, you'll see that 7 days ago there was 18 SOL. These guys had bought it over a week ago for sure. And I think there's just too much risk in doing that. You might as well just plan on using it for what it's good at, which is minting SOL drops and making your profit from that. It is possible that, you have some bots that really stand out, but they're super expensive in my opinion right now, even though you can make your profit back quickly. I wouldn't be buying though as investments.
Got it. Yeah, another cool one's Candy Cane. I've talked to Privacy, or staff member, about this one a lot, and it's like cheaper. It's like 4 SOL, and it's more of like a toolbox as opposed to just one of these minting bots. So the way I understand it is the application itself is monitoring these contracts, and it's giving you, kind of similar to Cyberkeys, it's giving you a bunch of real-time data. So a lot of our collaborators and a lot of our guys in NFT chat are using like Candy Cane and running it, and then able to track them in. So they're saying it's sold out before, any of the Discord servers are saying it's sold out. So that's another one that I'm considering grabbing. It's only like, let's see, 4.5 SOL. So it's gone up just a little. And
it mints like 1 or 2, right? Like every drop, you have a pretty good shot at getting one, isn't that right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It's not bad at all.
It just doesn't rip like Cyberkeys.
Exactly.
Garrett, what's your experience with Cyberkeys so far, Garrett? Has it been good? What do you think?
Yeah, man. I feel like it's super dynamic. So as McKay had touched on, it's browser based. So basically you authenticate via Discord to get access to like their Discord, and then you authenticate via your Phantom wallet, and it verifies that you've got a Cyberkey in there. Then you have access to basically these alpha channels in the private Discord, which are honestly so far really, really good. And then it's browser based. So essentially you'll have a page where it's like constantly crawling and scraping different candy machines that are loaded on, like different contracts that are set to mint soon. And then you can also analyze and extract directly via the candy machine ID or the link to make sure you're not minting like a fake or a honeypot or whatever. And then you just click the more info button, and you've got two buttons. One of them says mint 1 and the other's mint auto, which is you can set the parameters of, or just mint unlimited. And it's really, really dope, dude. Like yesterday there was this free farmer mint. There was like, I don't remember, 3,000 of them or something. They were totally free. I hit 33 of them, and they went to like 0.2 Solana floor. So I made several SOL from that, which was like my first trial run. And there's some projects today that I'm hoping to run as well. So far, I really like it. It's really easy to use.
Nice.
That's sweet.
Okay, so someone says, are there tiers for Cyberkeys? No, I don't. I think they're all the same, right?
Nope, all the same. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, they're all the same keys, even though they look a little different. What's floor on the launch pad drop yesterday? Oh, you're talking about the suites or a different one? I think the suites went over 13 pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Or
let's
right
see.
now
It's
it's
hit
like
18 for when I looked last
Oh
night.
wow, there's 16 still. That's crazy. Yeah, and Cyberkeys hits Launchpad, so right there you're almost paying off more than half of your. See, that's the thing. Like, plan on getting it and paying off your investment on the bot, so you don't even care if it goes up or down, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Another Soul Sniper or Solana sniping bot that I wanted to touch on before we move on is Soul Sniper, which is different than the other 3 or 4 because its focus is primarily sniping Magic Eden listings right after mint. Because I mean, you cannot ignore the fact that a lot of the profit on Solana mints, even on some of these, slower drops, they continue to pump right after mint sells out. And what we're seeing is a lot of these guys are running like a bot like Soul Sniper, grabbing them for really low, and then just flipping immediately as the project pumps, or they're picking up fat fingered listings that are selling for much lower than they were supposed to sell for. So that's another bot that's really sick. It's like a desktop application, so that one works on like Mac and Windows, and similar.
Fat Fingers or Soul Sniper?
Soul Snipers.
Did you see the guy talking about Fat Fingers? I know we had talked about it briefly yesterday.
No,
I don't know many people using it right now. Like, I haven't heard anybody talking about it. Really, I think somebody had mentioned it once.
Yeah.
No idea how it works. It is a toolkit, it says though. Somebody just mentioned that.
Soul Sniper is actually adding Launchpad too. We've seen a couple bots this week announce that they're adding Launchpad. And no, Launchpad has a CAPTCHA, so I'm not sure how they're handling that. I'm sure they just have CAPTCHA harvesters or something, but yeah.
Cyberkeys must just be in the browser, right?
Yeah, Garrett said it's in the browser. Yep.
Got you. Okay, sick.
So those are the big dogs for Solana minting. We'll see where botting goes with it. Vince, you have a strong opinion on it. I think we're kind of early with it.
Oh yeah, I think we're super early. Gonna have tons of bots popping up. That's where the money is. More sneaker bot devs, whatever, coming into it, and you'll have a lot of supply. So I think prices will go down on most of these. Now Cyberkeys, if they continue to be at the top, obviously it's gonna tick up, even if there's more supply. But how high? I don't know. I wouldn't buy for that reason. That's all.
Got it.
Okay, let's get out of this. We wanted to touch on looks again.
Sure.
They took off this weekend. What'd they get up to, like 550 or something?
Yeah, it was unexpected. Let's see what the highest. Yeah, they got up to
highest on the 15 chart. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like 516, and that was on the 15th. So on Saturday it pumped really hard, which was unexpected. On Friday we saw a lot of the big whales were exiting, but now I think what's happened is, if you look on Twitter, a ton of the guys are saying Looks was, and it definitely is, like the most successful airdrop that we've seen. I think this is probably the last time we cover Looks token. I think a lot of our guys have exited. I exited. I think most of us have. But at this point, like the platform, people are starting to. I don't think people are selling on there, but I saw a metric yesterday that for all of the apes that sold, all the Bored Apes that have sold in like the past 48 hours on OpenSea, it would have equivalated to $250,000 in cash if they had sold on the Looks Rare platform, which is super interesting. It's just free money.
I wouldn't say people aren't selling there. I mean, they've definitely had a major uptick in volume and users, and I think it's growing still as far as sales volume on the platform. So yeah, I mean, it's clanky for sure. It's not as seamless of a UX as OpenSea, even though OpenSea obviously has its flaws. But still, with that being said, it's one of the biggest potential competitors in the space still at this point. So yeah, man, they did such a good job with that airdrop. It brought so much awareness, and yeah, great.
Look at all these cells coming in here. Basically retracing all of the gains here over the few hours. Wow. Huh. So a big buy order though at 96 ETH. Interesting. Okay. Somebody had said, some guy said Fat Fingers is awful, and it makes sense. I mean, look at the price. There's a reason it's cheap, and there's not like a ton of supply. All these bots have custom RPC settings. In theory, it shouldn't perform much better. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I know Cyberkeys is browser-based. I don't think they're all browser-based, are they?
No. A lot of them are like on your
Right.
computer, CLI.
A little different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think that's all for looks
is good.
token. I think.
Yep. All right,
Let's
so
hear it.
let's go to Robotos. That was one that Garrett had called in potential flips, and then once he sold, they skyrocketed, which is pretty typical.
That's funny. Yeah, Robotos are, we call them at 0.9 ETH, and it's not like an OG project, but a project from summer that has like, you know, a lot of effort put into the art. It's really, really unique. They're super dope. And they're grinding behind the scenes. Like they have like a legitimate, like really high dollar, high budget TV series that's signed already, and a really dedicated holder base. I want to say there's like almost 6,000 holders with a 10,000 total supply. So yeah, we've seen just continued momentum for them. They basically 2x'd in floor price in the last 4 days. And there's not a ton of listings. Like I said, the holders are dedicated. So there's potential for them to continue running higher. They kind of give me Deadfellas vibes, just like one of the really good projects with really good holders and really good profile picks that never got a crazy spotlight on it. And now it's kind of getting some of the overdue recognition, very similar to Deadfellas.
The croc head's sick because it's like GF and F colors. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Oh,
It's a
that's super
helmet.
dope.
It's not too expensive either, but it's about
Yeah, that's cool.
7.
And they're animated, which I think is a trend we'll see,
Yeah,
especially with
animation's
things like
cool.
the upcoming Invisible Friends and things like that. We saw it with Let's Walk. So I think animation NFTs are super undervalued in the space right now because there aren't that many.
Agreed. Kathy Chan said we should do this more often, like the YouTube live videos. We're doing it every day, Kathy. We
Monday through
started
Friday at noon.
Yeah, basically right at noontime, Monday to Friday. So yeah, tune in, continue tuning in. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get off of these, even though I want a crocodile now that I'm looking at them. Expensive.
They're
Okay.
so sweet.
For
Let's talk
some reason,
Stapleverse.
I have Sandbox open. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Stapleverse.
Stapleverse is Jeff Staple, who is like a huge. I mean, he's had a big influence in streetwear for probably like a dozen years. He was early on Nike. He's done big collaborations with he owns Staple Pigeon, who's done big collaborations with Nike SB. Those dunks have continued to sell for like thousands. He hasn't really done a Nike collaboration in a while. He's done collaborations with some like other like brands like Artifact and really cool clothing collaborations over the past few years. Now he's moving into the NFT space. It's an interesting project. They did a large majority of the stock went to whitelist. There's 10,000 total. They gave like 370 for their team. The mint price is going to be 0.1, and we're going to see the mint go live in like 40 minutes. It's an interesting concept. We've seen the floor rise. So Slumped had pointed these out last week. I'd say Wednesday or Thursday, and they were like 0.2, 0.3. And then they went up to 0.6. I think now they're down to 0.4, 0.5. I think what we're going to see now is just a giant gas war at 1 p.m. Eastern. And nothing short of a gas war. It's going to be crazy. With the 0.1 mint price, I kind of talked to Ian about this. I think anything under 0.3, being in at 0.3, so 0.2 in gas is safe. I don't think these would dip below 0.3. The utility is weird. So you can keep the NFT as it comes, or you can do some sort of like merging that they have where you can be in their two factions, which have different benefits. There's like a poop, like it's called poop faction, and there's a separate faction as well that you can join into. And those will basically give different benefits over the next coming weeks. Aiden Slumped, I don't know if you guys have different opinions. I know Slumped was early on this project. I think he had seen it, and that was kind of before we had caught on to it. But I really curious to see where the floor goes after sellout, because gas is going to be crazy, and a lot of these guys are going to be getting in at 0.3, 0.4 for mint.
Yeah, I mean, I love Jeff Staple. Back to your early point, his original Dunk collab is the reason sneakers resell. And he's just a real innovator in the space. He's always pushing the boundaries. I've always liked him.
Pretty cool.
I'm a big supporter of anything he does. And also, I believe this is like a part one of a bigger, I guess, NFT project that he's doing, which I think is super awesome. I'm priced out of this one at the moment, but I am definitely looking to get into it around part two. I'm super excited to see where it goes.
It's a really good point. And
I'm going to try to get a rare one.
Yeah, well, something I wanted to touch on that Slump just reminded me of is like about the part one, part two. So the team working on this is the Dapper Labs team, which I didn't know until last week. So Dapper Labs is the same guys behind NBA Top Shot, which was like, you know, the big NFT project from you know, that we saw during the summer, late spring of 2021. So that team basically moved on from Top Shot. Dapper Labs came over to Jeff Staple and created this project. So these guys know what they're doing. They're the real deal. And now they're moving into ETH because that was like their own layer 2 type deal was what we saw last spring.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going to pay attention on the reveal for these traits to see if I can try to get a more rare one pretty quickly since they already have them listed here. So
okay. Eden, what are you thinking here as far as aftermarket?
So we've been talking about this since last week. I like an aftermarket buy here just because everyone is basically expecting a huge gas war. And when that's the case, that typically happens. So we'll see the people with minting bots like Breeze and other things get in really early with low gas, and the supply will basically get eaten. I don't hate buying right now. I was actually thinking about it as we were talking about it, because I think the floor continues to run after this quick sellout.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Anything
Obviously a
else on
pricier buy, but I think there's enough support in the project, and the team seems to have a long-term vision. So it's something that I think is probably a safe buy. It's not degen at all, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's also going to be some sort of supply shock once people start after the reveal and start burning their NFTs to get that upgraded. What McKay was talking about before.
Yeah, so like there's a toss feed. So there's the Poop Gang, which is like the lower tier, or there's the Hood Squad, which is like the pigeons, and they're like the sick characters. And there's a 50-50 shot, from what we understand, of getting one or the other.
Gotcha. Yeah, we have a good distribution too right now.
Do we?
Yeah, whitelist. It seems like whitelist has been hanging on to their mints, which is normally a good sign.
That's pretty nice. So.
Cool.
Okay.
Eden, you want to get Wolf Game?
Let's go Wolf Game.
So super excited about Wolf Game. Obviously called it in the group for those that are in there as one of my projects to watch for 2022. As things have sort of heated up with more tweets from the Shepherd and influencers like Beanie continually hammering away. I think Beanie's tweeting like 4 to 5 times a day about Wolf Game at this point, so he is completely bought in. We've seen the price of Gen 1 a bit. Last I looked, it was 1.7. I believe it got as high as 1.8. So that was a great play there if you're able to secure it. I still think some Wolf Game assets are undervalued as this alpha game begins, because to my understanding from the white paper and the folks that I've talked to, land doesn't really play a role in this interim game. An interim game is what the Shepherd was calling this alpha game before it was called alpha game. Basically the game before true revamp of Wolf Game, which should be coming later this year. Alpha game, if you guys have read the white paper, or if you haven't, I would encourage you to check it out. It's quite interesting. Basically, sheep and wolves are joining up on teams under an Alpha 8 Gen 0 wolf. And essentially, by staking your sheep or wolf on a team, you're generating points for that team. And you can spend points to go raid. Well, you spend wool to go raid other teams and sort of attack their team. And then you take some of the points away. And the person or the team at the end of the game, when the Shepherd ends it with the most points, wins the largest percentage of the prize pool. I'm making an update post just about this specific alpha game, but it should be really interesting. So I think we'll see most of the movement for price for this alpha game happen for sheep and wolves, but I don't think we'll see farmers or land really increase by that much. So those are the two assets I'm looking at right now as a speculative buy, because I think the alpha game has obviously pumped sheep and wolves to a point where, you know, it's inaccessible for a lot of folks. And I think the other assets are being overlooked. But as the alpha game metrics continue to roll out and people understand how valuable wool is, we've seen the price of wool pouches run quite a bit. I believe at the time of the call, it was 0.3. I think right now they're 0.7 something. And also we've seen the price of wool almost triple, or maybe no, double. It's at, last I looked, it was 35 and 38 cents, which is an all-time high, because to operate in any capacity in the game, in the alpha game, you need wool to do it. So the alpha 8 wolves are kind of hoarding it right now, and most of the folks with an alpha 8 wool or alpha 8 sheep are already well off with a bunch of wool. So I think we'll see very few people selling wool as the game begins, because you really need it to operate. And that's kind of my end of the rant on this, but you guys can expect an updated post in the group later tonight.
Sweet. Dude, something is standing out and a lot of guys are talking about with Wolf Game is like these giant prize pools that they've put together. Do we know how much money they've set aside for it in wool?
So we know it's 500 million wool total spread across all of the people that win. So every team will win a percentage of that winnings, with the largest and the winning team winning the most, largest percentage of that.
So it's 190 million right now in prize money.
Yeah, at the current price, yeah.
Which is crazy.
Wow.
And the winning
I think that's a record for
for
the winning team takes 30 million USD.
20% right now.
Yep.
It's actually over 30 now. Wow.
So I'd be looking, you know, my post tonight is really going to talk about where you should be putting your wolves or sheep if you have them, because I've been reading up on the distribution of the prizing, and if you join a team that has a massive number of wolves and sheep already on it, you'll obviously receive a smaller percentage of that pie. So it may not be in your best financial interest to join the team that you expect to win. It might be better to join like a second tier team that you think could get like 4th or 5th. That way you'll get a larger percentage of that earnings versus a team with a massive number of people already on it that could actually take the whole thing.
Right.
So kind of weird, but definitely something to look at.
Cool.
Crazy.
All right. Wolf Game done.
Yeah. Swamp, do you want to go over blue tints?
Sure. So Saturday, we're going to see a restock of the Boots in 350s, which is one of the more iconic colorways, super sought after. It's hard to say exactly what's going to happen because we don't know the stock numbers yet. I think we're going to see some price action similar to Belugas, but with a slightly lower retail price. I have the sizes and prices in front of me. It looks like right now bigger sizes are definitely going to be the move. So, you know, standard easy drop. Start farming your emails now. And once we find out more stock, you know, we'll have our guide and official call out in the next couple days. But yeah, I'm expecting this to be pretty decently profitable. Again, one of the more sought after colorways.
Cool. Yeah.
Sweet. And then
GPUs and Best Buy, I mean?
Yeah, Best Buy GPUs and consoles. We should see both this week. Their last restock, I think, was on the 5th. So this would be, you know, their routine. We did see them do something abnormal on the 5th, which was drop PS5s in the morning, which now might be a little late for. If they were to do both today, I don't think that we'd see both today. But sometime this week, we expect to see both consoles and GPUs on Best Buy. But that's all there is to that.
Right on. What's up, Garrison? Yeah, I think we covered everything that I wanted to. I just quickly was on book games there for a minute, but not much to say there. And I can't think of anything else that's coming up. Can you guys?
So on this slower day of, you know, MLK Day, a lot of stuff isn't happening. Are you guys looking to buy into anything right now? Are you watching any projects? What's on your radar for the week?
I think for me, I'm looking for good soul projects that I can keep buying into. I think a lot of our guys who are just getting into NFTs and myself, you know, who's trying to just grow a soul wallet without transferring ETH into it, are realizing that a lot of these soul projects are just a great opportunity to build, you know, just compact and keep building the wallet itself. So I think my priority today is look more into these soul mints that Garrett posted, see if I want to go for any of them, and then just keep building the soul wallet. As far as ETH goes, I don't think I'm buying anything today. I don't know about you guys.
I hate to say it. I don't know why I want to buy another Creature World, but for some reason the volume's up. But as to why, I don't know. I also like to counter trade this fucker Cole. I think this is the Penguin guy. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, that is Cole Ethereum.
No, this is Cole Bennett. This is a different guy.
Okay. Cole Bennett's
Lyrical Lemonade.
Yeah, that's he's a music producer or a music video director.
And he started Lyrical Lemonade, huh? I didn't know that.
Yep.
Well, this is the wrrong Cole, but maybe I'll just counter him. So
That's funny.
the idiot Cole, that moron Cole who was who did the Pudgy Penguins, he sold his wolves and his sheep back when I started buying at like 0.25 a few weeks ago, and I was like, it made me feel even better because I hate that guy. So yeah, if that was him, I'd probably really think about buying a Creature World, but I don't know. It's probably, if I bought anything today, it'd be one of these, but the odds are like 10%. I'll just do some soul minting today. So
yeah,
that's it
like
for
Slum
me.
said, I might look for an entrance on Stapleverse if it gets low enough.
Oh yeah, and I'll look for rare traits. I sent you guys the traits. I'll see if somebody lists one of the rare ones. Maybe try to buy one of those for cheap. Like on the Doodles, buying a good trait earlier. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks guys. I'm done. Anything
Yeah.
else?
Cool.
Yeah.
Till tomorrow.